Hey everyone and welcome. Go ahead and pull up a chair. I want you to think of me as your seasoned financial mentor today because we're going to have a very real, very supportive sit-down. Today, we're tackling a massive modern crisis that is literally suffocating an entire generation under this beautiful, perfectly filtered facade. In this explainer, we're going to completely expose the illusion of modern affluence and completely rewire how you think about building true wealth.
Look, we've all seen him, right? You walk into a coffee shop on a Tuesday morning, and there he is. The guy in the perfectly pressed button-down, typing furiously on his MacBook Pro with his AirPods in. He orders a $12 oatmeal cortado without even blinking. Honestly, everything about him just screams financial stability and success. But what you don't see is that he is exactly 3 days away from overdrafting his checking account, his credit cards are completely maxed out, and he's probably eating ramen for dinner because that cortado just ate his food budget for the rest of the week. So I have to ask you, does your own decent professional salary feel like it's vanishing into a black hole? Are you, just like him, quietly broke?
Section 1. The quietly broke illusion and financial theater.
Okay, let's dive into this explainer by diagnosing exactly what's going on here. We are living right in the middle of the quietly broke millennial era. It's this terrifying reality where looking successful has entirely overshadowed actually being successful. And listen, if you're feeling profound financial anxiety right now, despite earning a really good living, I want to validate that feeling immediately. What you're trapped in isn't a personal moral failure, not at all. It's a known societal trap called financial theater. It's basically the performance of success through highly visible spending. You know, the cars, the flashy vacations, the daily lattes, which is almost always masking deep underlying financial distress. If we don't figure out how to help you exit this stage, you're going to spend your entire life just treading water.
Now, this reality is just staggering. 64% of six-figure earners now say their income isn't a milestone of success at all. To them, it's literally just the bare minimum they need to stay afloat. Almost two-thirds of high earners feel like they are barely surviving. That right there is the ultimate illusion of affluence. You see, making more money doesn't just magically upgrade your financial survival software. Honestly, earning a higher salary often just provides this false sense of security. If your bank balance peaks on payday Friday and hits zero by Wednesday, you're running on ancient software. Because the exact same habits that keep you stressed and broke at $50,000 are the exact same habits that are going to keep you stressed and broke at $200,000. Section 2. The rigged economic ladder.
Let's shift our perspective for a second, because I want to completely remove any shame you might be feeling about this. Society loves to tell you that you can't get ahead because of, avocado toast and expensive lattes. Well, that is a lie. It's not your fault. The economic game fundamentally changed, and you're trying to play it using an outdated rule book. This right here perfectly illustrates the sawed-off ladder metaphor. Just look at the numbers. In 1984, the median house price was less than 4 times the median household income. Today, it is almost 6 times your income. You aren't financially irresponsible. You're financially trapped by massive structural shifts that have fundamentally altered what it takes to build a foundation. You are literally playing a completely different game than your parents did.
I mean, seriously, stop and think about your own math for a second. If you earn $100,000 but your everyday needs eat up 90% of that salary, you are not a high earner. You're a wage slave in a golden cage. You're simply a conduit for money to pass through on its way to somebody else's bank account.
Section 3. The Doom Spending Trap.
Okay, quick check-in. Stay with me here. Put the phone down for just a sec and lock back in, because we really need to talk about the emotional toll of these constantly moving financial goalposts and the trap you fall into when you realize the ladder is broken. When major milestones like home ownership just keep moving further and further away, a lot of people simply give up. And that leads directly to doom spending. You start choosing immediate hits of dopamine today, buying the clothes, taking the trips, because saving for a down payment tomorrow feels, well, mathematically impossible. And look, I deeply empathize with this. It's a completely rational, emotional response to a highly irrational economy. But I have to warn you, as your mentor, it is also financial suicide. You're trading your long-term freedom for short-term convenience.
And let's add the weight of the past to all that anxiety about the future. $42,000. That's the massive average student debt burden that is currently suffocating young professionals. You're essentially starting a marathon with lead weights tied around your ankles.
So you're caught in what we call the sandwich generation squeeze. You're trapped right between paying off your own record-level student debt and the growing expectation that you'll have to act as a 401(j), a human retirement safety net for parents who simply didn't save enough. Because of this structural shift, you cannot afford to just wing it with your finances anymore. The wealth gap isn't just between generations now, it's widening wildly right within your own generation.
Section 4. Your Wealth Escape Strategy.
But hey, here is the good news. Now that we've accurately diagnosed the problem, we're going to fix it. We're pivoting right now to your definitive, absolutely supportive playbook for taking back control. It's time to exit the theater. To actually escape this gap, you must master 3 strict, kind of boring, but absolutely necessary rules. Rule 1, lifestyle inflation immunity. Rule 2, the 15-65-20 rule. And Rule 3, automate or die. Let's break these down so you can finally step off the stage once and for all.
All right, rule number 1 is lifestyle inflation immunity. When your income goes up, your expenses absolutely must stay flat. True wealth is built silently. The person driving the super reliable 10-year-old Toyota and investing the difference will always be wealthier than the person bleeding cash every single month on a leased BMW just to look successful. Stealth wealth is real wealth. Flashy, depreciating liabilities, those just keep you broke.
Which brings us to rule number 2, mastering the 15-65-20 rule. Here's how it works. You allocate 15% directly to your future self through investments. A maximum of 65% goes to your essentials, housing, food, and bills. And that remaining 20%, that's your permission slip to actually enjoy your life without any guilt. But listen to me carefully here. If your essentials are eating up more than 65% of your take-home pay, you have a lifestyle problem, not an income problem.
And finally, rule number 3, automate or die. Seriously, you cannot rely on discipline alone. Willpower is a muscle, and human nature guarantees that muscle is completely exhausted by 5 p.m. every single day. If your money doesn't move to a designated freedom fund automatically the very day after you get paid, you will find a reason to spend it. Set it up once and let the machine save you from yourself.
Section 5. Reaching the first 100K.
Once you've got those 3 rules locked in, we move toward the ultimate mindset shift. This is where you transform from a highly stressed consumer into an empowered capital owner. And it all hinges on one very specific milestone. We're nearing the finish line here, so lock your focus back in. $100,000. This is the absolute hardest part of the entire journey. Saving and investing your first $100,000 feels like pushing a massive boulder straight up a mountain. And that's because you are doing 100% of the heavy lifting. Every single dollar is squeezed from your own sweat.
But here's where this turns into pure mathematical magic. When you finally cross that 6-figure threshold, you stop being a consumer and you become a capital owner. Why? Because suddenly your money starts working harder than you do. Think about it. At a fairly conservative 8% return, that $100,000 earns $8,000 a year for doing absolutely nothing. That is nearly $700 a month covering your bills while you are fast asleep. And here's the absolute most reassuring truth to keep you going when the climb feels completely brutal. In the world of compounding interest and time, once you hit your first $100,000, you are actually, mathematically, 1/3 of the way to $1 million. The heavy lifting is over. The snowball is finally rolling down the other side of the mountain.
I really want to leave you with a final truth bomb today from your mentor. The economic system might be failing you, yes, but you do not have to fail with it. You have to make a choice, though. You can either look wealthy or you can actually be wealthy. But for the vast majority of people, you cannot do both. You have to stop performing for strangers who honestly don't care about you and start building a concrete financial foundation for yourself.
But look, knowledge without action is just entertainment, right? So right now, I want you to grab the Quietly Broke audit checklist I've linked below in the accompanying description. Download it, sit down tonight, find exactly where your financial leaks are, and plug them. If you're serious about this, join the free training on breaking the paycheck cycle and subscribe to the Psychology of Money playlist to just keep rewiring your brain. I'll leave you with this final thought to carry with you. When you look back a decade from now, what will your future self, your 36-year-old self, thank you for doing today? Will they thank you for the leased car and the $12 coffees? Or will they thank you for exiting the theater and finally buying back your freedom? The choice is entirely yours. Start building today.